What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one. So apparently, Marvin Sapp, the gospel legend singer, is under fire here. Apparently, he was at apparently he was on, preaching things like that. He was asking for a certain amount of donations and things like that from people in the audience and also people online at that particular time. And he's under fire for this. Now, a lot of people are feeling some type of way. Church is not this, especially the black church, is not the same of what it used to be in yesteryear. And these are just the facts. So we're going to dive off into this. And, we're going to see what he had to say. And then we're going to see what he had to say to Rickey Smiley as well. Let's go here now. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
And they understand the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said, close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. It's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. Now, everyone up here, we've all sold and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to sit up here. And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, or even if you're giving tangibly, I'm gonna have y'all come to the altar and give it, because I need to see 1,000 people moving. Bring them baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folk. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people online need to give $20. This is easy, saints.
Now, I grew up in the church and things like that. I was also an usher in church growing up as a child. And yes, listen, look, and these are just the facts here. When pastors and things like that, ministers, whatever, go to other churches and things like that, they do get paid for that. Now, okay, as y'all heard, Marvin said it costs to sit up here. So, this is the thing here. And what a lot of you people don't understand, of course, churches get government subsidies and things like that, tax breaks and things. So, yeah, a lot of the quote unquote donations, which is supposed to be a donation, something that you're supposed to give out of the kindness of your heart, whatever amount you want to give. If you don't give nothing but 50 cents, you're supposed to give it out of the kindness of your heart. Okay, it's not supposed to be a specific amount that the ministers or pastors or preacher, whatever, is supposed to ask you for. You're supposed to give whatever quote unquote God puts on your heart. That's the terms that were used when I was growing up, and definitely in the church, definitely as a preacher's kid. I've said this plenty of times on plenty of my broadcasts that I am a preacher's son. Saying my father's passed on now, rest in peace. Mad love to him. But yeah, you're supposed to give out of the kindness of your heart, whatever God put on your heart, or whatever, pretty much whatever you can, basically afford to do. And to sit there and say, a specific amount, it gives a sting to people. It's like, okay, well, my dollar is not, my $5 is not enough, my 50 cents not enough. What are you trying to do here? And this is what people are looking at. So let's I'm gonna do a couple of comments here. Let's see. I never would have paid it. It's a holy heist. Let's see. Rolex just a glistening. Yeah. Okay, then let's see. Marvin Sapp would have saw the worst in me. Oh Lord. Let's see. Beware false prophets and teachings. This isn't right at all. No, you're supposed to give what you give, whatever you can give out of the kindness of your heart. Let's see. People online just checked off. Okay, yeah. It's called an offering, not a ransom. Yes.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Yes. And as we clearly heard, Marvin also asked them to close the doors. And, I get it. Maybe safety's involved, things like that. I can understand that too. Yeah, you're not supposed, as an usher, yeah, we used to close the doors and things like that of the church. And not lock the doors, but we used to, make sure the doors were closed and stuff like that while service was in ongoing. So, all right, I'm about to keep going here, and we're about to hear what Marvin had to say to Rickey Smiley about this situation and things like that. Man, it's crazy out here, but this is real. So we're gonna go here now, and we're gonna check this out. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people. And yes, I'm gonna have to, put up the a picture screen. I'm gonna play it just a second so you clearly see that I'm playing the actual video, but I'm going to put up a picture so I won't get a copyright off the situation. Let's go here now.
I already knew. You don't have to explain that to me. I grew up in the church in your own way. In your own way. Let's start with the attacks that are on you and the death threats on you and your family.
Well, let me just start.
Just whatever way you want to start.
Let me just start by saying first, Rickey, I thank you for this opportunity.
Yes, sir.
I thank you for the opportunity to be able to come on your show and for you to use your platform to give me a chance to just, add some context.
Yeah.
Some context and clarity to, a clip that, a whole lot of people have seen. Sadly, one of the things that has happened is, people have created a narrative that is absolutely not true. Number one, the narrative was created, excuse me, that I raised money at my church, that I kept the people at my church hostage until I raised $40,000 for me. That's the narrative that has been shared, that I locked folks up at my church, that, I made them give $40,000 and I wouldn't allow them to leave until they gave it to me. And to be honest with you, that is absolutely false.
Yeah.
Number one, that offering was taken last year. This was a service that happened last August. Number two, it didn't happen at my local church. It actually happened at a national organization's international meeting where churches from all over the country, all over the world came together for the purpose of celebrating the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. People took issue with me saying, shut the doors. Understand, I never said lock the doors.
Yeah.
I said, shut the doors. Shutting doors mean that people still have the ability to go in and out. They've taken issue with my tone. And I can honestly say, looking at the video, maybe I was a little more assertive than I should have been. And I can apologize for that. But three things I need to make sure that people understood. Number one, the $40,000, if it was $40,000 that was raised, was never given to me. That money was raised for the purpose of taking care of the budget for their conference, not Marvin Sapp. Number two, it didn't happen at my church. It happened in Baltimore. Number three, people take issue with me being firm with the ushers. Anybody that goes to church, ushers one-on-one, that's the first thing they teach you as being an usher, is that there are 3 times you don't walk. You don't walk during the altar call. You don't walk during prayer. You don't walk during the offering. One of the reasons being is because of the sacredness of the moment.
Now, I definitely will agree with him on that particular point. Like I said, I was an usher in the church growing up as a young child. Yes, you do not, walk during certain moments and things like that. You stand firm, at the door and stuff, and you don't, move because, of the situation, the sacredness of the moment, the prayer, things like that. I definitely agree with him on that part right there.
But it's also about security. As a pastor, we understand and we know that churches are being robbed at gunpoint. It's happening all over the country. This is not something I'm making up. This is factual. So if you got 5,000 people in the room,
I don't think churches are just being robbed and en masse like what he's talking about. But, that's neither here nor there.
You want the doors closed. You don't want the doors locked. I couldn't get them locked anyway. It's a convention center. But the doors needed to be closed, and there was a lot of pandemonium and stuff that was going on out there. But I wanted to share that first. But that ain't even the reason why I'm here. Here's the reason why I'm here. The reason why I'm here is because what has happened is people have taken clickbait and made something out of it that it isn't. And because of that, my church has been getting phone calls. People have called my church and cussed me out. My staff are afraid because I've received death threats over $20 and shut the door. People have come to our campus. They have come to my church to try to cause problems, issues, challenges. And again, my children, I don't look at comments. We was talking about this. You know, I don't read comments. When you got millions of followers, you ain't got time to be reading all the comments. You just don't have it.
Right.
My children do. And they are afraid. And the reason being is because I'm their only parent. I'm a widower. You know, they're afraid for my safety. So now we've had to update and increase security and all the things I've never had to do before because of the vitriol and the anger that people have shown, the things that they've said in my thread and stuff. And all of this is because of a misunderstanding.
Now, Marvin did say that, you know, his tone was a little off too. And we have to think this thing through. So, you know, presenting what we present on the internet, and this goes for everybody, all of us, because basically this internet situation is still technically new. We haven't even had the internet for a good 50 years yet. So the way that things are being presented, and even Marvin said his tone was a little off. He you know, he said that himself. And the way that people can take that, yes, dude, you look like you're asking, you look like you're telling people what they need to give, not asking people what's on their heart from God to give. That's what's going on.
What the French toast is there to think about?
That's what's going on, period. And it makes a difference. And there's no way around it. That makes a difference between what you're saying that, you know, I need this specific amount. I need y'all to give this specific amount inside the church. You people on the internet, give this specific amount, this and that, versus, you know what I'm saying, give whatever God puts on your heart. If God puts on your heart to give $5, if God puts on your heart to give 50 cents, if God puts on your heart to give $2, if God puts on your heart to give the $10, if God puts on your heart to give whatever, give whatever God puts on your heart. It's a whole different sound. It's a whole different invitement to the listener and the worshiper of, you know, God that actually is listening to the quote unquote pastor preach the message. It's a difference than you telling me to give $20, or you're telling me to give $100, or you're telling me to we need this specific, we need 1,000 people to give $100, or we need 1,000 people to give $20. It's a difference.
And I'm not blaming people. Let me be clear. I'm not blaming anybody because of their misunderstanding. I'm just saying, in all you're getting, get an understanding. And if I'm sharing with you that the $40,000 that I was trying to raise, and again, I don't know if the organization got 40, 10, 20, any of it. I don't know. I'm hoping that I actually.
That's a lie. Pastor, they all know how much money comes in. They all know. They all know. Sorry, but they do. You know, even if just in sharing the information with the fellow pastor that you invited to your church, they call you up. Thank you, pastor, for coming, this and that. And also by pastors getting donations. And I'm going to keep using the word donations, but you get what I'm saying. By getting donations, because they pay these pastors to come and preach their sermons. These pastors are not, let's say a pastor come all the way from California to Memphis, Tennessee. They're going to compensate him something for making that travel. You know, I'm just saying, you know, even the three wise men that came and visit Jesus gave him something. I'm just being honest. No, we cannot escape these facts. Growing up in the church, I know these are facts. They do not just, you know, they take up donations for the pastors that come visit other churches. I know they do. So, you know what I'm saying? He know how much they made.
We raised more money so that I can help the organization that has been such a great support to me. These people.
And again, let's be clear. Not a dime of that money.
Not a dime of that money came to me. Not a dime of it.
And where do your money come from?
I've been blessed. I've been extremely blessed. I've sold millions of records. Millions. I'm a songwriter.
How much have you gotten paid from? And we on the radio live,
Right.
How much have you gotten paid from your church? I'm just saying.
Okay, so
Tell
see,
me
Rickey,
what you said during
I'm
the
gonna tell
commercial.
you. What people don't know is that I pastored 16 years in the city of Grand Rapids, Michigan. I founded my church. I pastored 16 years. We had a great church. Still have a great church there. 16 years of pastoring. I never got paid a dime. That's a fact. 16 years. You can call the church. You can ask them. I pastored the Lighthouse for Life Center Church in Grand Rapids, Michigan for free for 16 years. 9 years of those 16 years, I gave a minimum of $30,000 a month to my church. Wow. 30 grand a month to my church to ensure that the church could go forward. We had a lot of stuff. I had a college campus that we had bought. We had 3 other campuses, and my membership had dwindled after my wife had passed because I had to travel more in order to take care of me and my kids.
Right.
So, my membership, it dwindled, but we never lost anything. And as a matter of fact, this is factual. The day I announced the new pastor, I burned the mortgage of the church. When I left Grand Rapids, I left my church not only debt free, but I left them with 6 figures in the bank and put a brand new pastor in and walked away and moved to Texas.
And that's what's up at that point. So yeah, we're going to stop it here. If you want to, check it out a little bit more, go to the Rickey Smiley Morning Show and check that out. You know what I'm saying? But this is the thing here. This is the thing. We can't sit here and deny the facts about, the tone. Even he said his tone was off. And what I said previously about, donations, because when you're in church, it's a donation. You're not supposed to ask your congregation for any specific amount. It's a donation. I've growing up in the church back in the day, I never heard a pastor say, you need to give this specific amount. Or if they asked for that, they was raising like the building fund, stuff like that. But it wasn't necessarily a specific amount. It's always give, what you can. Basically, give what God puts on your heart to give. Because everybody in the church can't give $100. Everybody in the church can't, give 1,000. Everybody in the church, some of them can't even give $5. And this is the thing here. And this is what Marvin Sapp is really under fire for. In so many words, in so many checks and balances, is the fact that he put a specific amount of what he was asking people in the congregation at that time and online to give, a specific amount, not whatever God puts on your heart to give.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Right. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.